We have here our plankton sample from the Homer Harbor, and I'm starting off just shooting straight down through the sample, not really focusing on anything, but I'm doing this so that we can see how much is going on down inside of our sample. We see movement all over the place, and what that is our zooplankton, or our animal plankton, cruising around through their environment. As we focus in a little bit, you'll be able to tell some more about the shapes of these plankton. But we're going to start off really talking about the phytoplankton. The phytoplankton are plant-like plankton. They're our primary photosynthesizers, and they come in a few different forms. One form that we're going to see is the dinoflagellate. So these have the flagella coming off of them that allow them to move through their environment, but they're still photosynthesizers, still getting their energy from the sun. And then we have what is more common in our water is the diatoms. So the diatoms are not actively moving like the dinoflagellates, but they are photosynthesizing, and they're hugely important for that. These are creating the base energy for the marine environment, as well as creating a lot of oxygen for our planet. 20% or more of the oxygen for our planet is coming from these marine diatoms. They have a few different forms that we can see right here. They are unicellular. So you can see a really large circle in the upper left-hand side. So that is a diatom. But you can also see on your scene some of these long strings. And what that is diatoms as well. But this is a colony of diatoms that have formed a chain. It doesn't always have to be in a chain. They can kind of spread out from there. But this is what we usually see. Actually, two next to each other right here. So you can tell they aren't identical. There's many species of marine diatom, and they're not all going to look the exact same. You can use these differences to tell them apart. We have moved back on to some zooplankton, and you can see a bunch of different types. But the main thing that we actually caught in this sample is a type of zooplankton called Anopolis. A Anopolis is a juvenile stage of some of our other animals. So looking into the bright spot down in the lower left, you can actually see one of our barnacle Anopolis. And a barnacle Anopolis is a juvenile. It's not going to spend its full life as a plankton. In fact, soon this one will turn into a cyprid. And the cyprid is the last stage before adulthood. This is actually what's going to adhere to the rock before it takes its adult stage. These Anopli are a pretty common form for marine arthropods. And so you actually get this same Anopolis form with the kind of arms cut off to the side and then a central eye right here in holoplankton too, like the Copepod. You can see a copepod from the top down right here. It's moving through just a small drop of water, and it looks a little bit different than copepod would sometimes because this one has eggs. So coming off the back, you can see that this one has an egg sac attached to it and a side view here. So it's got all those legs underneath that it uses to move itself and push itself through the water, even though it's not determining its exact location in the ocean. It can move through its environment. We're going to get a little bit closer on this one as well so that we can see really what's going on with them and get a better idea of the copepod. Here it is. And so you can see its body. You can see actually some movement inside it in its organs, as well as get a little more detail on the eggs. And then just a lucky break in the filming. There we go. We just saw this copepod poop, which is also pretty important as these are going through the upper water, eating those phytoplankton, and that poop actually makes a pretty important part of the marine substrate. And then a last little clip here, looking at that planktonic movement with them. This is just me. I accidentally moved my microscope a bit, which sloshed some water around, and you can see those plankton moving along with the water. Although we've seen them moving through the environment in some of the images, they can't resist the water when it starts to move. So they're just moving back and forth like they would be in the ocean, moving with the tides and the currents. Thank you.